Oh my goodness. Let's figure this out. So if you noticed, I added some music to the intro there. Now I just have to figure out how to. Okay, that's what I want, but that's funny. Why is that? Let's close this. I like to think that I'm more technologically savvy than I know I come across when I'm on screen here. And let me close this. I opened my phone because it's like all of a sudden I thought, well, why does it look like even though I clicked the start streaming button, it didn't go live. So I've been sitting here this whole time and I've played that intro music several times and but I was looking at my phone and it wasn't going live. And then I remember, oh, there's a separate little button over here that says go live. So I'm live. Let me get out of this screen where I was watching the stream. And again, of course, I wanted to have, I got to figure out transitions, y'all. Maybe we'll just do this. Okay. And at least I'm sort of centered on the screen, I hope. Happy Friday. It is the 7th of March. Also, already I can tell you I'm going to wake up in what will feel like a couple of days and we're planning for Christmas again already. I don't know that I like how fast it feels like the time goes, except that there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world that maybe with time it'll get a little less crazy. Is that possible? One can hope. Richard's at the feed store, or he was going to go to the feed store. He did think to call me long before the live stream started today to ask if I needed anything. I always need duck food. I don't know why he calls to ask. Maybe he thinks I might need something in addition to duck food, but I told him I needed duck feed, and I needed bedding. That's true. I did need bedding this time because since it's rained a lot, there's some spots in the duck and goose pen that are, they're not wet right now because we haven't had any rain in a while. But when they get wet, then over time, there's little parts of the bedding that kind of get compacted and they're not fluffy and soft anymore. So I like to take those out of there and replace them with fresh bedding. So he's supposed to get me some bedding too. I have not eaten today. It's been nicely busy, but that's just because the weather's been good, so the dogs and I have been outside a lot. But I got my coffee, so I'm going to have some coffee while we're doing our stream today. I will tell you, for those that don't know, so I don't always drink flavor in my coffee or sweetener in my coffee. But when I do, I use maple syrup, 100% pure maple syrup, because I read, and I've seen it in lots of different places, that it does not impact your glucose level like sugar does. So, I mean, sometimes I use honey in it if I don't have maple syrup around, but the only reason I keep maple syrup around is just to put in my coffee every now and then. So, this has a little bit of maple syrup in it. And I found I guess you call it a tincture. So it's a bottle of liquid with the dropper that I ordered from Amazon. I actually ordered it for Serena because in addition to the pharmaceutical ache and pain meds she takes just because she's an older girl with arthritis and some hip dysplasia, I've been giving her like ginger and turmeric and boswellia. Well, I'm all out of the boswellia. Anyway, so I ordered this big bottle of, human grade ginger and turmeric. And I was giving it to her, but it, on the bottle, I mean, it's not for dog, like it's not specifically made for dogs, but it's safe for dogs. And I've always put turmeric in their home cooked food. And again, I've used the tinctures on her food just to kind of boost or enhance the effects of the medications that the doctor has prescribed for her. And I do think they make a difference. But long story short, that same ginger turmeric on the bottle, it says, put 2 droppers full in your favorite drink. And I thought, well, favorite drink? I mean, like all I drink is coffee and tea. water. I do drink water. And I don't know how that would taste in water. So whether I have a sweetener in my coffee or not, that ginger and turmeric, it doesn't have like a real strong taste that changes the experience of drinking the coffee. But that's in my coffee today as well. And so I just thought I would share that with you, that if over time you have also begun to experience the aches and pains of getting older. And hello, Connie Cleary. I just now thought to look at chat. I wish, isn't there a way to pop out chat? How do you do that? So I watched a video today because I want to figure out how I can highlight a comment, and put it on the screen. But and I downloaded a Chrome extension because I use Google Chrome for my browser. But I don't know right now in the middle of the stream and then it not work. But hopefully over time I'm going to figure out how to do some things that'll make the stream a little more interesting and engage with viewers a little bit more effectively. Girls, I said no barking. Hey. I said no barking. That may mean that Richard's home. He was going to try to leave work early. It's supposed to rain here. Girls, I'm talking. Gucci and Serena. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Good girl, come. I'm talking, so you have to be quiet. They're just like human kids, y'all. What was I saying? Oh, it's supposed to rain here tomorrow, so Richard didn't want to wait and go to the feed store in the morning, just because if he's loading hay and then unloading it when he gets back, he doesn't like for it to get wet. So that's neither here nor there. But welcome to those who are here with me live and watching live. I don't think OBS tells me how many people are watching. And if you're not in the chat, then I won't necessarily know you're here. I encourage you to pop into the chat and say hi. We've got a nice family here at the channel, and I love to watch people greeting each other and visiting in the chat, because that's the whole purpose, I think, of live streams, is to, have a little fellowship and get together with people that, maybe you know them, maybe you don't know them. Anyway, so that's kind of where we are right now. So apologies for being a couple of minutes late today, just because I feel like my head's a little bit fuller than it might have been last week or the week before, and I just totally didn't click that go live button. It's so obvious, but I somehow missed it. I'm breaking up, so that may be a Spectrum internet issue. We'll hope that gets a little bit better as the stream goes on. But we'll follow some of the same things that we've done in the last couple of weeks until I kind of settle on how I want to do the live streams. But back to thanking those of you who are watching live. Love it when you're here live. But also, major kudos to those who do the rewatch after the stream has ended. I know not everybody is home or where they can sit and devote time to watching a live stream in the middle of the day. But this still works pretty good for me. So it's okay if you're here live. It's okay if you watch after we're live. I just appreciate you for stopping by and showing me a little love by checking out the stream. So now I'm going to fumble through changing the size of this again and getting it set up so that we can have the windows show. Oh, look, it almost did it. Oh, but that's moving me too. What's that about? What's this one? Okay. Ooh, look, we're kind of getting there. Okay, I need to make this one smaller. Oh, what's that? Or maybe if I put that on top of this one. No, that just took me right out, didn't it? I don't know what I changed that. Okay, there we go. I want this a little smaller so that you can see that. Okay, I think that works. So can you see my wheel over there on the side spinning? I hope you can see my wheel over there on the side spinning. So we will spin the wheel. I've got a bunch of tabs open on this chrome window, and we'll do a handful of the stuff from the wheel, and then I do want to do another round of bandle. And it looks like you can play some back to back to back things, but I didn't want to buy the little extension pack or whatever it's called. Let's put this here a little bit. Well, maybe I just need to move over. So that, okay, because I don't want to block that window. And so I may do that while we're doing bandle today, or we may just do one song again and see how it goes. But let's spin the wheel, see what we get. I hope you guys are happy and well wherever you are. I really am tickled when you stop by and hang out with me. Let's see what we get first. Oh, I don't want to do bandle now. Maybe I should not put bandle on the wheel. I just want to do bandle at the end of the show. So we're going to skip that. Okay, the Dumb and Dumber. And I meant for this to be more, let me find it. Okay, here we go. This is the same page I think I used one other time when we spun the wheel and got the Dumb and Dumber. This is from police1.com, Crazy Climbs, Bold Crimes, and Gerbil Theft, Police One's Dumbest Criminals of 2024. Obviously, we can't have a Dumbest Criminals of 2025 yet because the year's not over. So there's still plenty of time for you to get on the list if you want to get on the list for this year. Any criminals that might be watching, don't give up hope. You still have chances. But let's see what we've got here. Okay, we did that story. All right, and let's look at this. I don't think I can play that video, though. You know how YouTube is very protective of other people's work, which is good because I want them to be protective of my work, too. So I'll just read you this story. The title is Man Climbs Cell Tower for Live Stream. Deputies Bring Him Back to Earth. I never thought of that. We suppose I could get a better signal on top of a cell tower? In a scene worthy of a social media stunt gone wrong, a man in Riverview, Florida scaled a cellular tower to live stream his high-altitude antics. Oh, so he wasn't just live streaming. He was actually sharing some thing he was doing. Deputies from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, guided by the aviation unit, safely talked the daredevil down with video showing him descending the tower and meeting law enforcement on solid ground. When asked by a deputy if he really made it to the top, the man nonchalantly confirmed, earning a "that's pretty crazy" in response. So he was just climbing the tower for the sake of climbing the tower. I mean, I guess that's a stunt. While the man was taken into custody without incident, the sheriff's office hasn't said what charges he's facing, though climbing for clout probably wasn't worth the arrest. All right, we're going to close this window now. And we'll go back to this. My computer's taking a little break. Okay, let's close that and let's spin again and see what we get. I haven't gotten any emails from anyone asking me to cover a story or talk about something in particular. So rants and raves. Oh, and I didn't send this link to the computer or to my email. So but I have it on my phone. Oh, or do I have it in? I don't know. I'm just going to tell you this story once I go to where I think I bookmarked it. That's not it. Okay. This is from the WFAA Channel 8 ABC News affiliate here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And it regards a woman who was involved in some kind of, I think, traffic accident, and she had to be airlifted to the hospital. Okay, not an uncommon thing. Fortunately, not what I would call a common thing, but there are times when the situation is severe enough that you got to be airlifted somewhere. There's not time to fight traffic and get stuck at lights or potentially have another accident. So this headline for this story, or the title for this story, Insurance company denied payment for life-saving air ambulance, claiming unconscious patient failed to get pre-approval. So one of the reasons this is a rant for me is that I have long said and believed that I don't know that we need health care reform in the United States, but I know we need insurance reform. In my opinion, insurance, all kinds, homeowners insurance, car insurance, medical insurance, dental insurance, it's all a scam. It's all just a money-making thing. And part of the reason I believe that is because I worked in healthcare for a long time. And I was the insurance coordinator and everything that had to do with claims and submitting claims. And let me tell you, I fought for lots of benefits for people because the insurance company's primary goal is to make money. And very, very often, I know there's some formula that they use. They can just deny a claim. They can put some reason on that. And if you don't have someone looking out for you that's going to fight for your benefits or resubmit or call and argue with them like I typically did, you just accept it. And then they get to celebrate because they got to keep however much of your premiums in their little billions of dollars in a interest-bearing account someplace where all those premiums go because they didn't have to pay your claim. And I don't think it's different for any kind of insurance. Again, you pay car insurance, so even if you're a great driver, you might get better rates. We have pretty good rates because we're good drivers. But still, my premiums go into the big pot so that the people that aren't good drivers or the people that were subjected to the bad drivers can get their claims. Girls, no. Serena and Gucci, come here. You guys need to cool it. There must be a leaf blowing by in the front yard or something. Cool it. I'm on the computer. Please stop. Anyway, so my premiums go to cover. I mean, again, heaven forbid, if I was the one that had a wreck and I needed my benefits, then yes, I would be grateful that they're there. But, if I have a $50,000 whatever max or whatever it is, I don't know. I haven't looked at our insurance in a long time. And all the cars are, well, we're still making payments on the Acadia, but everything else is paid for. So we don't have, higher premiums because we owe somebody money still for the cars. And so, yeah, I would be grateful that that money is there if I need it. But of the millions of drivers on the road every day, or the millions of people that, go to the doctor or the dentist every day, they don't all need $50,000 worth of claims paid. Okay, so again, there's some kind of formula for that, but this story just really hit my rant nerves because how absurd is that? The unconscious patient did not get pre-approval for the air ambulance to pick her up to take her to the hospital so she wouldn't die at the scene. So they denied the claim. And I don't know, I didn't even read the whole article then to figure out what ultimately happened. Let's see. I'm just skimming. Decisions paramedics and doctors made over the next few hours would save Boley's life. Oh, I guess so, on her way. I'm looking to see if it says $65,000 bill rejected. I'm guessing that's just what it costs for the care flight or the air ambulance. Anthem turned down her appeal not once but twice. There's no Anthem's communications told 13 investigates, which I guess is the story. 13 investigates, which I guess is the story that originally covered. I just have a pop-up that says OBS Studio reconnected. So my apologies if I was gone for a little while because it looks like I may not be connected. Okay, I hope I'm back. I need to just keep my phone, well, I can't because I'm using my phone for this now, but I need to just keep a window open, like with my private account. I think I tell you that all the time. Okay. I'm still waiting to catch up, so bear with me. And now, so Connie, I'm thinking about you telling me that it was really choppy. I don't know now if that's an internet issue. Hey, John Garner, how are you? Or an OBS studio issue. I hope it doesn't mean I'm going to end up still having to spend a lot of money to get a streaming service that works. But this is no fun for me when I have to fight with technology to make things work. Okay, I'm going to open this window here and listen and just see where it is in the stream. Thinking about you telling me that it was really choppy. Okay, so it's back, but it looks like it is still really choppy. So again, apologies for that. Let me close some of these windows. Oops. Can't close it if I don't hit the right button. My computer's really slow though too. Like just opening and closing browser windows and stuff seems like it's not as responsive as it could be, as it should be. Now, I had Microsoft Edge open for the window where I just now wanted to look and see. And I'll tell you now, Microsoft Edge is an energy sucker. That's another rant for another day. But let me go on to share with you this quote from Blue Cross Blue Shield Anthem's Senior Director of Corporate Communications, as told to 13 Investigates, which I'm guessing means the reporter team that was on the scene or investigated it initially. Please stop, girls, okay? Gucci Perique, please stop. Thank you. I don't know what they're looking at, but she's looking out the window, upset about something. Okay, here's a quote. Emergency treatment never requires prior authorization, and our members can access emergency services 24/7 at any facility, regardless of network status. In this case, coverage decisions were made without the necessary information from the provider to recognize that this was an emergency. Nice try, dude. Once we become aware of the circumstances, we should have acted immediately to obtain that documentation and approve the claim, but we did not. But you know what? If nobody had fought it, then it would have stood. They just wouldn't have paid it. I can't imagine being in the stress of an accident that was so serious I had to be airlifted somewhere and then go bankrupt because now I got to pay somebody $65,000 that I don't have just so that I could stay alive to do it. We deeply regret the mistakes that led to the incorrect determinations, and our leadership has been in touch with our member to offer our sincere apologies. Doesn't say has corrected the error and paid the claim. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is committed to ensuring our members receive timely and appropriate care. We take our responsibility to our members seriously, and we're taking immediate steps to improve our processes to provide the high-quality service they deserve. These steps include a more personalized, proactive, and high-touch approach to addressing complex situations like this one. I'm still looking to see. Doesn't look like they paid it. Says Bowley said she received a cordial phone call from representative at Anthem who apologized for the erroneous denials. He also informed her that Anthem was going to fully cover the bill for her air ambulance transport. Okay, good. But my money says none of that would have happened at all, again, unless, the news got involved and she appealed a couple of times, because not everybody does that. I'll tell you now, if you ever go to the doctor or go to the dentist and you have services provided that were needed and your care provider can prove that they were needed, don't settle for. Now, if it just flat out, if you have an insurance policy, let's say dental, because that's my background, I hope I'm back. Somebody let me know in the chat. Am I back now? Because I closed that window where I was. Oh, I could look on my phone. That won't take away from what's going on the. Okay, yeah. Let me turn the volume down, but I'm going to leave it up just so I can make sure it looks like it's working. I don't know what I'll do about it. If it stops working again, I don't know what to do. But just tell them that you want them to fight for it. I mean, you could fight for it too, but the people who are the experts in how insurance works are the ones that work at your provider's office. And, I'm sure you pay them a pretty penny, even just with your part that insurance wasn't expected to cover. So I did want to throw out that disclaimer. If you have let's say a dental policy again, that doesn't cover dental implants, then you can't raise a fuss if you go get a dental implant and it's not covered, even if you needed it, because there are options to that most of the time. So I'm not talking about those kind of provisions, but I just want to warn you that I'm going to say it's safe to say 5 or 6 times out of 10, when you get a denial from your insurance company, it's not legit. It's not a legitimate denial. They'll say, because one of the first things that I always used to get with denials was that the required documentation had not been submitted with the claim, which in the dental field means, dental x-rays or images of whatever the issue was, or periodontal charting, when they go around and measure the pockets around your teeth and stuff like that. That's always like that's the go-to, is send it back and deny it and say, it was missing documentation. Well, for the last, 12 or 15 years of my 40-year career in the dental field, pretty much everything was submitted digitally. You had to attach documents digitally. It all got sent, and every time I ever called and fought back, and sometimes they would try to tell me again still, no, we didn't receive it. I would even have the attachment ID numbers that are assigned showing that it was sent to insurance, and I would provide them with that. But until I just really made it clear to them that they were not going to get away with not paying the claim for that reason, that it would have just gone denied. And when you're the patient, then when you see a provider that doesn't have somebody on staff that's willing or able or knowledgeable enough to fight for you, they just send you the bill with the note that says your insurance company denied your claim or denied this service, or however they want to word it. And when you're just the, John Doe off the street, you don't know how insurance works. You don't know what your office did or didn't send. And some offices don't send the documentation. I know that too. But, okay, so that's why that's a rant for me. And so you guys stand up for yourselves and demand that your office stand up for you. If they accept your insurance and they're in network, for sure if they're in network with your insurance. I don't know that they're as obligated if they are not network providers. That's another plus, should be another plus for staying in your insurance network, is it should mean that you've also got a provider that can and will fight for you to get the benefits that you're paying for. Anyway, so that's a rant. Let's move to a rave now, because like I've told you, I always want to be able to balance it out with a rave. I think the rave for me now is going to be, this is going to kind of mix. I don't know. If we get the all about animals thing, then we'll just skip it if we go that far with the wheel today. My rave is that Jackie and Shadow at Big Bear Valley in the San Bernardino National Forest in California have 2 beautiful, perfect, healthy eaglets now. One hatched late Monday night this week. She laid 3 eggs. First time she's ever laid. Well, she's laid more eggs than that in a season because she's lost so many eggs. And so there's been at least 1 second clutch for her where her eggs were, they weren't fertile, or the ravens got them and destroyed the eggs. But she laid 3 eggs back to back to back this season. I guess she just was really serious about increasing her odds of getting an eaglet, because they haven't had an eaglet there since 2022. Be sure and check out my video celebrating these little eaglets this week. I think I put it up on Tuesday this week. Anyway, so she and Shadow have 2 perfect, fluffy, beautiful little eaglets. It's very snowy and cold there, so I'm not going to lie, I am concerned, and they have lost eaglets in the past, possibly due to the weather. It's just very harsh and brutal there. They're at a higher elevation than a lot of eagles, and so it's even colder where they are, and the weather can just be really, really, really severe in the winters there. The 3rd egg pipped yesterday. That was confirmed around 10:20, just before 10:30 yesterday morning. And so that little eaglet is making great progress. When I last checked in on them a few hours ago, you can see a nice big opening in the egg where he's slowly but surely chipping away. So that is my rave, because nature is just so energizing for me. It renews my spirit. It reminds me that there's still good in the world. And that nest has always been in my favorites list. No news out of the Southwest Florida nest about any additional eggs since they lost their two little eaglets 5 weeks or so ago. So I'm not expecting to see eaglets this season, but they're still in the territory and they're still working on keeping the nest up. So, but celebrations and congratulations to those of you who also follow Jackie and Shadow at Big Bear Valley, because it so far, again, anything can happen. It is nature and we can't control it. But I have just been so happy to see babies at that nest this year. All right, so that's it for rants and raves. Let's spin this again and see what we get. Again, welcome to anyone who might just now be coming in. Thanks for watching live. Thanks for watching if you're part of my rewatch crew a little bit later today. What am I doing? I feel so busy, and yet it feels like there's not a whole lot going on. We're about to go into our busy season, which is like, 8 months of the year is busy season here. Gucci's here today just because it's a regular day for her to be here. We had two girls, repeat visitors, precious girls that we love having with us here. One of them was here Monday and Tuesday, and then the other one was here until yesterday, until yesterday. She went home yesterday, is that right? Yeah, she spent Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night here, and she went home yesterday. But I don't feel like it's as busy when they're here because they're no muss, no fuss. They get along with everyone and don't require a whole lot of supervision. But next week kicks off spring break season here. So we'll start off. We'll have, and I'm nothing to complain about because the dogs we have on the schedule for spring break are good dogs. They're easy dogs. They're friendly dogs. They don't cause any trouble. And so we'll have one that will get here on Thursday next week, and he's here till like the end of the month. And then two that will come just for 4 nights, week after next. But that'll keep us busy. So I've been just really excited this week that the weather has been good for being outside, because that's always a plus when we've got, even for our own dogs, but when we have visitor dogs, just that much more energy in the house certainly means there's a potential for it to get kind of stressful. But when the weather's nice and we can just go in and out as much as we like, or I can leave the back door open even and they can just let themselves in and out as much as they like, that's a win for everybody. So my what am I doing list has been either finding time to just relax and kind of do nothing in preparation for knowing I'm going to be pretty busy to have a house full of dogs for a while coming up here pretty quick, or still trying to find creative ways to cook things without setting myself up for the disappointment that tends to come when I cook a big batch, a lasagna, whatever, something that it's not, you can't really do for one person, because I just have decided, my foot has been put down. I am not going to keep throwing food away just because I'm the only one that will eat it here. So I didn't make my chicken pot pie yet. I think last week I told you that's one thing I wanted to make, because I love chicken pot pie. I love homemade chicken pot pie, but Richard doesn't eat it, so I can't make a whole chicken pot pie. But I think I have an idea for how to just do like mini chicken pot pies. I just haven't done it yet. We'll probably go out for Mexican food tonight. It's a Friday night, payday. We only have Gucci here, but she will probably go home about 5:30 or 6 o'clock. So Friday nights usually work out pretty well for us if we're going to go out to eat. And there's just a couple of little Mexican restaurants around here that they're delicious. They're very inexpensive. And it's just always a fun, nice atmosphere. So I'll update you next week on where we went to dinner tonight. But there's the what am I doing? I have not watched last night's episode of The Traitors. I'm still watching that reality show. And if you like reality TV, I recommend it. I think I mentioned already to you, there's versions from a few different countries. They're all great. I love Alan Cummings, and he's the host of the U.S. version of it. And what I don't like about the U.S. version of it is that they do what most of these U.S. reality TV shows do now, and they put celebrities or other famous reality TV people on it. Which, I mean, it's okay because the game itself, still, the premise of the game is what I really enjoy. It's very clever, but it's more fake than real because the people they put on it are basically actors. You know, they're so used to either being on reality shows or they already have some sort of online or TV presence or whatever. Hello, Joe Hupp. How are you? Thanks for stopping in today. But I still enjoy the show, so sometime this evening I plan to watch last night's episode, which might be the last episode of the season. If not, there's probably only one more episode. And of course, last week they ended it. It was the most terrible cliffhanger because I really wanted the person that they were voting on to get rid of. There's one I just really wanted her to be gone. I wanted her to be gone a long time ago, but she was still around, so. You know, they get to the last person that's going to vote, and she's like in an alliance with this person that everyone else is voting off. And it's, of course, a tied vote. So this last person decides, does the one person go home or does the other person go home? But and so the look on her face before they cut and said, you know, next week on the show, she looks like, oh my gosh, I thought everybody was going to vote her out. And I didn't, you know. So I know the story will be that she wanted to kind of go with the crowd because she doesn't want them to know that she's working with this other person. So let's see. Joe is about to get ready to go to an International Women's Day morning tea celebrating women in aviation. Awesome! How awesome is that? Are you going to record for us? Will we get to see a video about that? I hope. You guys check out Joe's channel. Anyway, so I'm still watching that show. I haven't played my little Klondike like Farmville on steroids game as much lately, again because I've been kind of busy, and when I'm not busy I really have enjoyed just being outside with the dogs and taking advantage of the nice weather when we have it, because it's supposed to get cold again this weekend. I think it's going to be cold enough I'll probably have a fire in the fireplace at least for a little while, and we probably will have some rain tomorrow. Again, if you missed the beginning of the stream, Richard was going to go to the feed store early to pick up hay and feed because he didn't want to get out in the morning and do it knowing that there's a good possibility it's going to be raining. So that's it for what am I doing. Let's see what else we get when we spin. History's Mysteries. Where's that tab? Nope. Okay, I think this is the tab I wanted to use. But what is that? That's annoying, that big old ad thing right there. The horrific story of the Lake Nyos disaster, the limnic eruption that devastated Cameroon. I can't even tell you where Cameroon is right now. Where's Cameroon? Somebody tell me. A massive cloud of carbon dioxide emerged from Cameroon's Lake Nyos on August 21st, 1986, ending the lives of more than 1,700 people and 3,500 animals. On August 21st, 1986, I guess I could make that bigger. Can I make this bigger? Will that help? Yeah, but then and then move it over. Please stop. Boys, now the boys are barking at something. Let's try this. Oh, wait, what did I just do? Oh, I didn't mean to move that over here. Okay, I moved that whole window over here. Nope. Okay, I can only go so far before it goes to the other screen. Let's try that. Oh, the ads. You can't even look at Facebook Reels anymore now without watching ads. Okay, on August 26th, the catastrophic event now known as the Lake Nyos disaster unfolded at Lake Nyos in Cameroon. Why don't they say Cameroon where? Where is Cameroon? I have to look that up now, y'all. That's bugging me. Where's Cameroon? Cameroon is in Africa. Republic of Cameroon is a country in Central Africa. Not great reporting, if you ask me, if they don't tell you. Now, where did it go? Where was it? Oh, I lost my window. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work to have it. Okay. Nios at Lake in Cameroon, a mix of carbon dioxide and water droplets previously trapped in the lake's depths suddenly burst forth. How do I get rid of this right here? Oh, right there? Okay, that helped. Suddenly, no, look at that. It still blocks the screen. Oh, how annoying. That might have to be a rant next week. Previously trapped in the lake's depths, suddenly burst forth and erupted to the surface. This rare phenomenon, known as a limnic eruption, created a deadly invisible gas cloud that engulfed nearby villages. The unseen killer suffocated over 1,700 people and more than 3,500 livestock, displacing thousands more locals as they fled the area. I should be making some kind of money by letting you guys see these ads from whatever these places are all over this page. So what happened? Scientists believe the root cause of this tragedy lies in the region's history of volcanic activity. Over the years, CO2 has gradually leaked into the lake, creating an explosive time bomb. A disturbance, possibly a landslide, earthquake, or simply too much gas built up, acted as a trigger, setting off the catastrophic release of the gas cloud. The aftermath of the Lake Nyos disaster prompted intense scientific investigation into limnic eruptions, even highlighting the potential danger of this rare natural disaster. What kind of car was that? I'm never buying one of those. Natural disaster happening at other lakes. The day Lake Nyos unleashed hell. It was a seemingly ordinary evening in northwestern Cameroon. I wonder, can I, okay, I'm going to move myself over. Let me make it a little smaller because I want to make that other window a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, let's try that. It was a seemingly ordinary evening in northwestern Cameroon as the sun began to set over the tranquil waters of Lake Nyos. Little did anyone know that beneath the calm surface, something deadly was brewing. On the night of August 21st, 1986, a small explosion was heard near Lake Nyos, followed by the emergence of an invisible cloud. It sounds like it's just saying the same thing over and over. The cloud was comprised of 1.6 million tons of magmatic gas, and in all, 1,746 people in nearby villages died because of it. So a lot of this we just already know from the title of the article. The gas spread up to, oh my goodness, what is that? What is a Rivian? Who makes that? I don't want one of those cars just because it can't seem to stop blocking my view. Okay. The gas spread up to 15.5 miles away from the lake, enveloping the villages of Nyos, Cam, Cha, and Subum. Survivors described feeling a sudden weakness and a loss of consciousness. Okay. Asphyxiant gas. Okay. Anyway, I'm not even going to read it all. Oh, wow, because it's a big, long story. You get the gist of it. And this thing here blocking my view is just really chapping my hide, y'all. Okay, so we're going to go back to the wheel. Let's spin the wheel again. I don't want to be frustrated in a live stream. Let's see what we get here. Look, there's an ad. Huh? Gee, Kat, since you like ads so much, we'll show you one here too. Looks like we're going to get word of the day. All right, word of the day. Oh, there it is. Yes, look, I picked it right. Is transpontin. I think that's how to say it. Transpontin, which is an adjective meaning across or beyond a bridge. I'd like to see that. Examples of transpontin. Many artists found inspiration in the transpontin landscapes beyond the main city. I've never heard that word. All right, so let's see. We got some comments we could look at. Joe says that would have been horrifically painful. Well, I mean, any kind of suffocation, in essence, that's what that gas would have done. It would have suffocated people, and it's always been my understanding that that is a horrific way to die. Hit the blue stop seeing this ad on that ad window. Oh, I should have looked at this before. So if that comes up again, I'll remember that tip. Rivian R1S fully electric SUV. Oh, it's electric car. At this time, I'd rather not have an EV as we don't have adequate EV charging facilities in Australia. And are they're still pretty expensive, right? Because there's charging stations here everywhere. The little Mexican restaurant that we'll probably go to dinner, where we'll probably go for dinner tonight, there's a whole row of charging stations just by that little restaurant. I don't know why that seems funny to me. And then there's at the South Lake Square, the town square here, shopping and restaurants and the post office and is there a police station there? There might be a police station there. A library, all of that is there, and then there's this big long row of charging stations. And those are only like 2 or 3 miles apart from each other, so we don't have that problem. But I just still don't think I'm interested in that yet. If somebody wants to give me a car, if somebody wants me to like test drive a EV for a year so I can do a review video on it, I won't say no. But okay, yep. Although you can get one for under $40,000 today. Australian dollars, I don't know how Australian dollars compare. 40,000 Australian dollars, though, what is probably more US dollars? Do you know the conversions off the top of your head, Joe? Anyway, so there's our word for the day, transpontin. And then another example here. He loved the peaceful atmosphere of his transpontin studio overlooking the water. Across or beyond a bridge. Okay, that's interesting. Close that. Let's go back to the wheel, see what we get. That was word of the day, in case you missed why we were talking about that. Sure seems choppy, doesn't it? No, we're not going to do Bandle if that's where you want to land. Okay, I'm going to take Bandle off if the computer will cooperate. And let's spin again. If you have a topic for the wheel also, so even if there's not like a topic that you would want me, we already did Dumb and Dumber, didn't we? Yeah. That even if there's not like a whole topic that you would ever want me to devote a live stream to, let me know if you've got something fun we could add to the wheel. I still don't know why that first week that we did the wheel, I had the option of just hiding these things as they came up on the spins. We're going to skip all about animals, remember, because I told you that my rave was that Jackie and Shadow have 2 babies with another one hatching as we speak. We probably could look in on that nest before we go. We did strange but true. That's what just happened. If we get the same thing again, well, I really don't want to have to I don't want to have to redo this wheel every time. I'm really disappointed that I can't. Maybe there's a button I need to click somewhere that will let me. Okay. So Joe says 40,000 Australian dollars is, it's okay. So my money would go farther in Australia. 40,000 Australian dollars is $25,251.50 in US dollars. Wow, what does my wheel have against all these other categories? Look at all these categories here, and the same 3 or 4 keep coming up. Okay, celebrity gossip, that's different. What was that? Page 6. Here's that page 6 place. Okay, so I don't know that there's any more news. I think we talked about Gene Hackman last week, or had that even happened yet? So we'll just look at this first thing. Eric Dane. I think I know him from, I don't even know the name of the show. There was a series, I think it ran a couple of seasons, and he's, if I'm thinking of the right person, he's like a captain of an ocean line. Not like a cruise liner, but a big sea ship. I think that's who that is. It's a pretty good show. Just a drama. I can't remember anything that happens on the show. I mean, I think they encounter some bad guys, or there's some kind of disease or something that strikes the people on the boat. Eric Dane and Rebecca Gayhart call off divorce after 7 years. What does that mean? Call off divorce. Why do I know her name? Oh. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, why doesn't it give me the story now? This is published today at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Eric Dane and Rebecca Gayhart have called off their divorce after 7 years. Does it just mean they're getting back together? Gayhart, who married the Grey's Anatomy alum. Oh, he's from Grey's Anatomy? I mean, I have seen some episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Let's see. Back to chat. Joe says, we have a celebrity in Australia. His name is Alfred, and he's a tropical cyclone hurricane. That's happening now? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That means they're getting back together. Okay, they're getting back together. What a strange way to say that, calling off their divorce. Okay, so Gayhart, who married the Grey's Anatomy alum in August of 2004, requested the Los Angeles Superior Court to dismiss her divorce petition without prejudice on Thursday per filings obtained by Page 6. So, but if it was just a divorce petition, does that mean they were divorced, or that she had just filed and it was never finalized? I don't know. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood actress 53 had initially filed for divorce in February 2018, citing irreconcilable differences. Aren't they cute together? Oh, that's all we get. Okay. Oh, no, okay. At the time, she requested spousal support and joint custody of their daughters, Billy, now 15, and Georgia, now 13. The pair was recently ordered to attend a family-centered case resolution hearing this coming Monday, according to the U.S. Sun, which was the first to report the news. The duo was given the options of attending the hearing or filing either a divorce judgment or dismissal. We can confirm that they both signed the dismissal request. That is a happy story. That's a happy story. Dane, 52, and Gayhart, who seemed to maintain an amicable family dynamic amid their separation, sparked reconciliation rumors in January 2023 after being photographed holding hands in Cabo San Lucas while on a family vacation. Yeah, that would be a good sign, right? They publicly reunited this past January as they took one of their girls to get sushi in West Hollywood, California. Reps for the couple, who famously dealt with a leaked sex tape back in 2009, who knew, did not immediately respond to Page 6's request for comment. I think that's a good story. That's a good story. Let's go back here. Oh, let's close this and go back to the wheel. Remove that. We'll do one more spin, and then I'll spend a little more time in chat. Oh, did you know? I feel like did you know was always something we had fun with. But where did it go? Did you know? Okay. This is the first one on the page. Well, it's actually the second one on the page, because the first one on the page is one that just says, did you know facts are everywhere? Duh. Did you know each insect, there's a lot of insects on planet Earth. Each insect is a host to 10 bacterial species. There are around 2 billion species on Earth, with 6.8 million likely to be species of insects. So just all told, 2 billion different kinds of species, plants, animals, whatever, with 6.8 million of those likely to be species of insects. We are still discovering new species at a pretty fast clip. I know that too. And up to 10 types of bacteria lives inside each of these insects. Wow. Number 3 of 60. Did you know Meghan Markle? I do not like hearing anything about Taylor Swift or Meghan Markle, but I told you I would just read them straight through. So, did you know Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are incredibly distant cousins? Imagine maybe some of us here on the live stream today are even incredibly distant cousins. The old wives' tale that we're attracted to people who look like our parents may be debatable, but the Duke and Duchess of Sussex share more than just a marriage. Apparently, they share an ancestor dating 15 generations back. Well, again, I'm probably related to them if we're going to go back that far. I have a great great grandmother. I think it's great great. It might be great, but I never met her. She was long gone before I got here. A great great grandmother who the story was she came over on a boat from Ireland and she married a full blooded Cherokee Indian man that even had long braids, even wore his hair in long braids. I did get an Ancestry.com subscription and I just haven't spent enough time digging. Some stuff happening in the chat. Happening right now is the Alfred, the cyclone in Australia, although his strength has been downgraded to a tropical low. It sure is a happy story. Oh, okay, about Eric Dane. I like Eric Dane. Again, I know that Gayheart name, but I can't think of where I've seen her. We're also seeing new spiders in Australia. These spiders are called peacock spiders and are a class of jumping spiders. Okay, jumping spiders, my all-time favorite all-time favorite spiders, all-time favorite bugs in general. If you have a fear of spiders, you need to spend some time with a jumping spider. I call them the gateway spider because if you spend a little time with them, they are so engaging and interactive and curious and harmless that I really think a lot of people change their perception and perspective about spiders if they spend some time with a jumping spider. I do have some jumping spider videos on my channel. You guys check that out. So 15 generations back, they're related. But they're not the first royals to be married and related. Oh, okay. Let's do some more of these. Did you know instrument strings were made from animals? If I'm not mistaken, aren't tennis racket strings also made from animals? Isn't that like catgut or something? Is that right? The strings of string instruments were originally made from the guts of animals like sheep or lambs. Now instrument makers have transitioned to metal wiring, but before metal, it was common for all string instruments to be made from the guts of the animals geographically available to the makers. Wow. There's all these links too, so I don't think I've bookmarked this. You know, I had a whole bunch of did you know pages marked from when we used to do Did You Know back in the day. So I deliberately looked for one that was new to me so that it would hopefully have some new Did You Knows for us. Did you know there were male engagement rings once? I thought that was a thing again now. You know the story. The man spends a small fortune for a ring, kneels, and pops the question. Well, in 1926, jewelers paired with advertisers to sell the concept of the man-gagement ring. The male engagement rings had names like the Pilot, the Stag, and the Master. Why do you have to name a ring? What were the girls' names, the rings named then? Did you know Queen Elizabeth II kept track of when she wore each outfit? It is rumored that the late Queen Elizabeth II never wore the same hat twice. If she did, she waited years to wear one again, and evidently there was a spreadsheet that recorded her exact outfit each day. So what did she do with all of those hats? A one-time only exhibit showcased the many hats and handbags she wore during public engagements. She was a very trendy and fashionable dresser, that's for sure. The bow on a violin or fiddle was made from horsehair. Yeah, see, I think I've heard that. So I guess I did know that about the animal parts for strings. Did you know some common hand gestures are offensive in other countries? So I did know that. I do speak, quote unquote, sign language. And when I was learning sign language, which I learned from the deaf community, I think I've shared with you before even that one of the greatest honors for me has been that I was given a sign name. So when you speak sign language, I mean, maybe actual hard of hearing or deaf people can pick their own sign name, but when you're not hard of hearing or deaf, you're not allowed to pick your own sign name. And I remember after studying with this group, there was a church in Arlington that had a deaf ministry, a very well-known deaf ministry, and they taught sign language classes. And I knew finger spelling, and I knew a little bit of ASL leading up to that. But I had a girl, I was teaching preschool at the time. The kids were all real little. And I was teaching a little girl in one of my preschool classes one year that had developmental apraxia, which meant she couldn't speak. She could make sounds, but there's some sort of defect or disconnect between whatever happens in your brain and whatever needs to happen with your mouth and tongue to form words. So even if she knew, well, she knew the words because she could understand you talking to her, but she couldn't speak. She could make sounds, but she couldn't speak. So she learned to sign when she was little bitty. But when she came into my class, again, I just knew my, finger spelling and some, just a small handful of ASL signs, whereas she was fluent in ASL already. So her mom invited me to this class because I think that's where her mom learned sign language. The little girl, I think, learned sign language as part of her therapy, just learning how to communicate because she had developmental apraxia. And so I still remember after, 2 or 3 months, and I knew some of the deaf people in this class because I'd gone to high school with one of them, and then I had met some of her friends over time. And she's, in fact, one of the people that taught me some of the limited sign language I had. We would eat lunch together at school, and she would teach me words, and she was a great lip reader, so it didn't matter that I couldn't, sign for her. But she took advantage of every opportunity to teach me to sign. So after a couple months in this class, the deaf people in this class came to me, and my friend Venice said, "We have a surprise for you. You have a name sign." And my name sign, this is the letter K in sign language. My name is Kathy, Cat, a K. And my name sign is, I got to get where you can, is this. And they explained it to me. When you get a name sign, it's because that sign incorporates something special about you, along with, again, typically a letter, the letter for your name. And because I have curly hair, and I always wore it curly, well, I didn't, but I had been wearing it curly. And so most of the people that knew me at the time knew I had curly hair. And I had very long hair, so I had very long curly hair. It's a whole lot healthier these days than it used to be also. It was very kinky curly, naturally curly, kind of wild sometimes. And that was my sign name because K for Kathy, and I have the curls. And that's just still so special to me. So all of that just as a tangent for what this says. But, because the reason it's connected more than what I just told you, is because I learned that even so I don't know about other countries, I'm sure it's the same, but even in the United States, there are dialects with sign language. So something that might be, expressed a certain way or with certain gestures and signs here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I might go to New York or California, and that doesn't mean the same thing. Now, typically, just like speaking any other language, if you've got a foundation and a basis for it, you can usually then use other words and find other ways to get your point across or ask your question or whatever. Like I speak French, but when I've been to Spanish-speaking countries, even though I know a little bit of Spanish, I speak more French than I do Spanish, but the Latin roots are all the same, and so you can often use, like the French word in a Spanish-speaking country, and it's similar enough, and with some pantomiming and pointing and stuff, you can communicate. So similar with sign language. So it doesn't surprise me to know that some hand gestures, can be not kosher depending on where you go. But let's see what it has to say about it. The devil's horns, that's what's in the picture here, which, when you're from Texas, that's like a football team signs here. Devil horns hand signs seen thrown up at rock concerts can be offensive in other countries. In European and South American countries, this hand sign implies that a man's wife has been unfaithful. What? The meaning dates back to the etymological meaning of cuckold, which is horned in Italian, Spanish, and Greek. Interesting. Wow. So beware. Let's do another one of these. Did you know 40% of human jobs could be replaced by AI in the future? I don't know what the date on this is. I'm thinking it's probably getting close to that even now. In about 20 years, the future could look eerily similar to Wall-E. Artificial intelligence expert Kai-Fu Lee said that 40% of human jobs could be replaced by equally capable robots, and drivers might be affected the most. Why would drivers be affected the most? Oh, people have jobs driving, I guess. Well, now we have self-driving cars. I guess the car itself is the AI, so no surprise there. Did you know Disneyland has an underground tunnel system? There are lots of quirky things that some think are underneath Disney parks, but these literally are. The tunnels were built in response to characters having to run through other lands to get to their posts, which spoiled the magic. Thanks to the tunnels, you won't see a Tomorrowland spaceman in the Old West-inspired Frontierland. Okay, that's fun. I'm kind of afraid to do. We're going to spend one more time just because I'm curious to see if it's going to give us anything new. But it's not. So we're not going to spin the wheel anymore, and instead, we're going to go to... Oh, I'll share an inspirational quote with you. There's a quote on the day, a quote of the day on the wheel, but we'll just do a quote of the day because I already had this pulled up. And the quote is, "You can't grow wings." This one spoke to me today because, again, my rave or my animal story, yeah, it was my rave, has to do with Jackie and Shadow having two eaglets. Y'all, it's been so long. I've just been so heartbroken for the last 3 seasons, or 2 seasons now, because of the tragedies at that nest and the, the hopefulness that then gets shattered because of a misfortune. Or just because Mother Nature is cruel sometimes. So this one kind of related to that. So when I came across this quote, I thought, oh, yes, I want to share that with y'all. I mean, the message is bigger than that, but you can't grow wings if you're too scared to break the shell. It kind of reminds me of a quote that I heard that has been a mantra of mine for a long, long time. I actually learned it in a Faulkner-Brackeen marriage enrichment class at church once upon a time. And one of those guys made a statement that you can act yourself into a better way of feeling quicker than you can feel yourself into a better way of acting. The point being, y'all, I have like a cat hair or something in my mouth. The point being that if you're waiting around to feel, at his point, so this is the exact example he gave, if you're waiting to feel more loving toward your partner than you do, then you have to just act more loving toward your partner. The feeling will follow the behavior. So behavior follows thoughts, and feelings follow behavior. So it is true. Not just as it pertains to personal relationships. Sometimes when I've performed in front of an audience or spoken in front of an audience, people will ask me, how did you get to be good at that? Why are you okay with that? How are you so comfortable with that? And a big part of it is just because I did it. I did it until I got comfortable with it. I was a very introverted, bookworm, tomboy child growing up. So social things were not my thing. I preferred to do my own thing and be on my own. I spent a lot of time outside. Always been real connected with animals. There's a different expectation there than when you connect with people. And so it was only through years and years of just putting myself out there and trying new things and, learning who I was outside of me and my introverted bookwormic self that I developed anything that I'm able to share now. So I don't know that it can be like a natural gift. It's something you can train yourself to do. And that's what this quote makes me think of. So if you're afraid, which is a feeling, right? If you're too scared, rather, there's the word they use, that's a feeling. So meaning if you're waiting to be not scared, or you think that being scared means you can't do it, then you'll never break through your shell. I still have my moments. I'm my own worst critic, and I can replay stuff over and over and over in my head, even if when all is said and done, it turned out well or people received it well. And I can sure find a whole lot of things to chop up and point at that I could have done this better, or why didn't I say it that way, or, singing has been a great exercise in that for me. So if you see these gaps in me recording a cover to put on the channel, it's likely because there's that part of me that's struggling with, is it good enough? Am I good enough? Is anybody going to like it? Is it going to mean anything to anybody? And so when I work up my gumption, it's usually because it's a song I really like. And so it's something that makes me feel a certain way. So thanks to those of you that have watched those music covers, because I do feel like I get a lot of positive feedback, and that makes me then more comfortable to do it. So that's on the to-do list, by the way. Just I'm having a hard time settling on a song as usual, and then I got to figure out when and where to do it. The last thing I want is what we had happen earlier in the stream, where the dogs are barking and barking and barking and barking at nothing. Although I think I may have just heard the car. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if she heard me say that and that's why she started barking, or nope, she did hear Richard, so he just came in the door. But, so that's where that comes from. So there's your quote for the day. Take it to heart. See where you can apply it. And let's close that window. I don't know if I want to do any more weird but trues. Now let's make myself bigger. I've been watching, so there's a new channel. I really like this content creator. I don't know what her real name is, but she goes by Bacon Bears, because I think that's her. I'm going to close that window. Wow, my computer's really slow. I think that's her Instagram account. I don't know the story behind where that comes from, but she's just a very tell it like it is person. Very comfortable on screen. Covers what some might consider to be some controversial topics, but she does it so beautifully, and she's very approachable and relatable. The name of that channel is, That's My Opinion. Is that what it's called? Oh, I gotta look it up now. Gonna give you guys a recommendation. Oh, there's the Bandle. But let me look up her channel. I just watched. She just did a Gabby Petito live stream. Well, she did one yesterday, and she wasn't able to finish all she wanted to cover because she's got young children, and she had to leave to go pick her kids up from school. So I'm gonna look at my history because I watched the part 2 of that live stream this morning. Oh, come on, history. All right, her channel name is That's My Opinion. I'm going to go to her channel and show y'all her channel. So now let's go back to this again. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm just wrong every way I do it. Okay, we'll go back to this. Put myself down here. And here's her channel. Oh, we'll make it smaller. Well, come on. Oh, come on. I'm trying to move this whole window over. Oh, what is that? Why is that doing that? Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, let's do this. What does this do? No, that's not it. Ugh. I don't know how to get rid of that one. Why do I have 2 of these windows up even though I only have 1 window up? That's weird. Well, there she is. All right, I'm just going to make myself smaller again so I can pull that whole thing over here. Oh. You guys probably wonder how I make it through any day at all, don't you? Okay. If I close this, it's going to close it up. Oh, no, it didn't. What is that about? That's weird. That's just weird. Okay, we're going to do this. We'll make this a little bigger here. Okay. I know you can't see me, but I'm going to stop fighting with the webcam scene on my computer. I don't understand why that's, I've got something set up wrong. We all know that now. But here's the channel I'm talking about. So see, at Bacon Bears, I think that's her Instagram handle. And she covers, you know, true crime, I think just stuff in the news maybe. I'm still relatively new to her channel. But I just, you know, I like that kind of delivery. She's very genuine and just tells it like it is. No beating around the bush. Okay, so we'll close that. And yet it's still open. Oh, I thought I closed it. Oh, we're going to close that. Because there's Bandle. Oh, look at all these ads. Look at all these ads. Oh, we need to make it a little smaller. All right, I'm going to try to get myself back on the screen now. We're going to play this Bandle before we go. So let's do this. But let's move this over here. Oh, why is that happening? Why is that happening? Okay, I'm going to put myself here, and then I'm going to... Nope, I don't want to do that. I don't want to not be on the screen. But I'm trying to figure out why... Oh, maybe I need to get rid of this. Nope, that still has both of us on the screen. What is up with that? Let's see. If I move this over here, what happens? Oh, did that work? Sort of? Oh, no, it just made that... Oh, well, let's see. It just made that go away, but how do I get that? How do I get that? I do need a separate monitor just where I can watch what you guys are seeing, because this is so frustrating. It didn't do that last week. I didn't have duplicate stuff. Somehow I've got that screen attached, oh, more cat hair, to the webcam thing. Oh, let's see. Webcam properties. It doesn't let me do window capture 2 properties. Okay, we're going to move this back over here because I think maybe I just need to pick a different thing. Vandal. I don't know how to get rid of this one. Oh, I'm gonna delete that one. Hopefully I won't disappear. I'm gonna try to delete it. Okay, yes, I do want to remove display capture 2, and it's still, they're still both there. How do I get this to work? Unless, well, I guess I could just do that. And then, is this the one that's on the screen right now? Yeah. All right, we'll make it work somehow, y'all. Why is it chopping it off? Oh my goodness gracious. That's so annoying. Okay, let's stretch it this way. But then it goes that way. So here's what I think I need to do. I'm gonna make it big. And I'm gonna, what is that? Oh, let me, wow. All right, if I close that, what do I get? Nothing. So it did go away. So we'll open a new window. I just want to play one round of this at least. I'm going to open a new window. And we're going to go back to the Bandle Online thing. It's not showing it, but that could be good. So maybe we just need to, I need to add a thing. Okay, and now, oh, that's not big enough though. Okay, we're getting there. But how do I guess I have to make it smaller? Why did this not cause a problem last time? Okay, this just might work. I mean, I kind of want that bigger because I don't want ads and stuff. Okay, good gravy. So if you remember, we played this last week, and what you're able to do is you can try to guess the song just from the drum and bass line. We didn't do this one already, did we? And then if that's not enough and you can't guess it, then you can add the synthesizer and electric guitar, whatever the next instrument or set of instruments is, until you guess it. So it does give you a little bit of a clue that this song was released in 1984. It's been viewed 1.2 billion times on YouTube, and it has an easy difficulty rating. So we'll see what we get. So I think you should be able to hear it. I'm going to turn the volume up because it looks like my desktop audio volume. Yes, it looks like the desktop volume is working. Now, and I apologize because I went back and watched last week's stream, and when we did the Bandle thing, there was a little bit of an echo, which may be because maybe I need to wear my headphones. Oh, these are the ones that aren't connected to the computer anymore. Let me see if I can get these to work, and I'm going to put these headphones on. And then I have to change my output. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let's just see. And where is it? Is it not on? Oh, these are weird. Richard got me these for Christmas. I don't wear headphones. Like, I don't like them. When I do wear them, it's usually if I'm editing a video and it's just very noisy in the house and I need to be able to hear. I don't know that these are on. Okay, this is taking too long. This is just taking too long. So we're going to just leave it like it is. Apologies. I hope it'll work. I do still have the stream running on my phone, so let me turn it up a little just so I can make sure, although I don't want there to be an echo because of that. All right, we'll stick with this. And let's see what happens. Oh, wrong. I'm clicking the wrong thing. Any guesses from the chat? Okay, first I'm going to pause it here because I want to listen on my phone. So you'll hear it coming through my phone now, but at least they won't. Okay, yes, I hear it. Okay, that's good. All right, so we're going to skip. If I skip it, then it's going to add the synthesizer and the electric guitar. So let's see what we get. Is this Careless Whisper? Oh no, Never Gonna Dance Again. Whoa. Never Gonna Dance Again. George Michael. Isn't that what that is? George Michael. I'm never gonna dance again. Oh, don't tell me that's not even going to be on here. Dance Again. Is that not what it is? Maybe that's not what it is. Okay. Any guesses in the chat? All right, so we'll skip and add something else then. Is there just another song that sounds like that? I can't believe that doesn't come up. And this is supposed to have the saxophone in it too. That's what that. Am I thinking of the wrong title of the song? Oh, wow. This is just really uh, confusing. Did someone else sing that song besides him? We're just going to do one word. What is that? Where we are? Guilty feet have got no rhythm. So what is that called? No, you're not a fool. Should have known better than to cheat a friend. A wasted chance that I'd been given. Let's do the get a clue, because I didn't know. Negligent murmur. Oh, careless whisper. Okay, that's what I started to put. Careless whisper. And then I started thinking of the words of the song in my head, and I thought, oh no, that's not the name of the song, is it? Maybe those are words in the song, Careless Whisper. Wow, I just wasted all those instruments. So that was it. Today's bandle was George Michael, Careless Whisper. Oh, the amazing, gone too soon George Michael. All right, we're going to just close that. We're going to fight with this again to get it the size I think it needs to be, or close to it. Okay, and I'll tell you that, so thinking of George Michael made me think of, I think it was Facebook Reels that I was watching. It might have been YouTube Shorts, but I don't know that I had ever heard Prince just speak before, which I wouldn't have thought about until I saw this reel or this short where he's on the Tonight Show with, I think it was Jay Leno, and they're talking about artists not really making the kind of money off their music that you think, and whatever album had just come out, Mariah Carey had just signed like this $20 million record deal for whatever album she had at the time. So obviously we know it's when Prince was alive. And I'm going to say, looking at how dark Jay Leno's hair was in it, if I remember correctly, this was probably, 15, 20 years ago. I'll have to look that. Oh, I could look that up, couldn't I? When was Prince on The Tonight Show? But the point being, I don't think I'd ever heard Prince just talk. Okay, when was Prince on? First thing that comes up is, when was Prince on The Muppet Show? Oh. And then I missed the N, the letter N in the word tonight, and I hit the I, and it said, when was Prince on the toilet? The search bar that automatically fills it safe. Okay. Prince live on Jay Leno, 2002. Oh, I said 15 or 20 years ago, so 25 years ago. Here's another 2001. Again, I'm not going to play them because I don't want to step on anyone's copyright toes, but I was very surprised. He had a very deep voice. I guess I thought he would have a softer, maybe higher pitched voice, because when I think of him singing, that's what I think of. I'm not like the biggest Prince aficionado, or I love his music, appreciate his music, but I didn't know enough about him to have not been surprised to just hear him speaking. Very articulate, it was just a wonderful surprise, but thinking of George Michael made me think of Prince, because I just saw that, whatever that video clip was that I saw, and they were talking about Mariah Carey. Don't forget to set your clocks ahead. Tomorrow, Saturday, March 8th, when you go to bed, because daylight savings time, it ends, I think, right? It ends when you set your clocks ahead. It begins when you want to save daylight during the shorter days of the year, right? So that you'll have more daylight. Although there's that, I don't know if it's true that a Native American really said it, but I used to see a meme that went around, and it was like a Native American that was saying, only in America would a man think that you can cut the end off of a blanket and put it at the other end and make a longer blanket. And I thought, yeah, that's why daylight savings time is silly. I don't know why it ever made sense. I used to hear that we started daylight savings time because people that were farmers, which back in the day was everybody. Once upon a time, people grew their own food and raised their own meat animals, and you didn't just go down to the Piggly Wiggly or the A&P or whatever and get your groceries. And I always heard that the reason we started daylight savings time was because, then farmers had more. Even then I thought, why does that make sense? You only have so many hours of light during the day. If it means you got to get up later or earlier or whatever to see what you're doing during some times of the year, why does it matter what the time on the clock says? And I don't like when the daylight savings time starts, because then the sun comes up earlier, right? Whichever one it is, I like it when it stays dark later in the mornings, because I like to sleep maybe later in the mornings. Now, for me, late, if I can sleep till 8:30 in the morning, that is way late, because I don't usually get to do that. The dogs are hungry. They need to go outside. There's just too much to do. So at least during the times of the year when it's not so sunny at 6 o'clock in the morning, that's a little easier for me to sleep a little later. So tomorrow or Sunday when it's 3, so Sunday when it's 8 a.m., it will really be what it was when it was 7 a.m. So it'll be sunnier earlier. So I think that's the part that I don't like. Not to mention that, why would it matter if you got to go to work, get in the car and drive to work? Why does it matter if you drive to work in the sunshine or you drive home in the sunshine? So I know that whichever time of the year it is that we switch the times, you go to work in the morning and the sun is out, but then at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the evening, before you even leave work, it's dark. How depressing is that? You've worked all day. Maybe you want to go sit outside. Maybe you want to do something that would be a little more enjoyable if there was daylight, but it's already dark because you used your daylight to drive to work that morning. Is that making sense? Does it sound like a rant? I don't necessarily mean it to sound like a rant. I just would love for somebody to make it make sense to me. Oh, but I just saw a comment. Okay, Connie says, also it was used during the war too, from what she heard. But how did that help? How does the time on the clock play such a big part? So, okay, yeah. If you got to do outside work, I don't know. How does it make sense? If you're a farmer or you got to drive to work, then why isn't it just that the times that you go do your stuff changes? Why does it have to be that the clock corresponds, that the sun and the clock have to correspond? So I don't know. The only time it's ever been a problem, if I want to call it that, because it all worked out fine, way back a long time ago, I had invited, I don't remember where I met this lady, because she wasn't necessarily a friend of mine, but I had met her somewhere, and I invited her to church. And she was gonna go to church with us the weekend that daylight savings time was gonna do, whichever thing it went. And when I tell the story, then maybe I'll remember. Okay, so it must have been in the fall, because she was going to meet at our house, and then we were going to drive, give her a ride to church with us. I don't remember if it may have even been before I had kids, or maybe Leslie was a baby. This was a long time ago. And so this lady shows up at our house like at, 7:30 in the morning. Church started at 9, so we were going to leave like at 8:30, right? So we had just told her to be at our house about 8:30. She gets to our house at 7:30 that morning. So like I'm in my slip, I don't have my makeup on or anything, and she just sat in the living room. I gave her some coffee or, juice or whatever. And that's what happened, is that she did not remember to set her clock back. That's what it was. She didn't remember to set her clock back. So she thought it was 8:30, but it was really 7:30. So again, it worked out fine, but why even bother with that? What difference does it make? I'm going to have to do some research because I don't understand why it should be necessary for the clock to correspond with the sun. The sun is the sun. It's going to do what it does. If you have a job where you need daylight, then you just need to be there later or earlier or whatever, right? Why can't it work like that? Is that just me using too much common sense, or am I totally missing something? But all that to say, don't forget to set your clocks ahead 1 hour before you go to bed tomorrow night. Spring forward. I don't know how I'm going to adjust to that, y'all, because I'm a night owl, and I love being up till like 12:30. I let the dogs go out late, and then when Richard gets up at 5 o'clock, 4:30 or 5 o'clock, then he lets them out. Nobody has to go very long without a break. But I don't know that that's going to be doable for me to go to bed at what I used to consider 12:30, but now it's 1:30. And then I sure can't sleep till 9:30. Oh well, real world problems and all that. We will have a live stream again next Friday. I might do something different, and I might pick a topic that we'll talk about just because I'm still exploring what would be, more engaging and enjoying and satisfying for anyone who might stop by to watch, and for me to put together for everyone. And then I have a video. I think I'm going to try to get my next Cat Reacts video up on Sunday this week. Don't hold me to that because it may be Monday. I've put out videos the 5 days now, counting today. So I had my Big Bear video. No, the sourdough chocolate chip cookie recipe went out on Monday. The Big Bear 2 brand new eaglets video went out on Tuesday. The little tornado or straight line winds or whatever hit us video went out on Wednesday. And then I had just that little clip of the pig at Big Bear yesterday. And then today's video. So if I can put a short or something together, I'm just really trying to keep myself motivated to keep creating content for you and remind people that I'm back, that my break is over, and I'm ready to get back to making new friendships and sharing, our life here and my story where I can. So look for a video, a long-form video on Sunday or Monday this weekend. And then for sure I'll see you next Friday for a live stream. Be safe and happy and well wherever you are. I hope your weather is good. And I just look forward to seeing you again next time we're all together. I love you guys. Thanks and